Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we have a great race to start for you. 24 drivers have made their way here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway on iRacing. We'll see how many of those do start, as Rand Flanagan just going to join in, make it 25 drivers that have registered for tonight's race and are here to grace. Whether we got the big show going on, any kind of race that's going on, we have a lot of drivers here tonight. We are super stoked to see them all here, as I do expect to see some really good racing from these guys here tonight. We always do. The question will be, how many cautions will be on hand? We've seen quite a few some races, other races not so many, so it will be a good question that will be answered later on tonight during the racing action. Again, here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This track can be a little tricky. You also have to handle it with care, as it can come back to bite you in the hindquarters if you don't. So we'll see who can treat the precious Las Vegas Motor Speedway with a little TLC and get victory lane here tonight. We do, of course, have just under 5 minutes left on the clock. Coming into practice right now, Trenton Jump is the fastest driver with that 30.099. The question is, did he run it with a little bit of draft help? We'll find that out later tonight. I have a feeling it probably was. Meanwhile, we are going to switch over to our scenic cam here, as we were watching pit road there for a minute, just to kind of see how these guys were coming in. This track is notorious for people sliding through their pit stalls because of the changing from asphalt to concrete. So we'll see how that goes. We'll be watching pit stops closely here tonight. Shane Therian going to be your second fastest, followed by Bronson Stafford, Adrian Piedra, and Herman Hart. Those are your top 5 fastest drivers here in practice. So we're going to be watching everybody here. Matthew Bell in that 20 always got a good shot at being up at the front. And most notably here, Ryan Flanagan has a good shot. Cody Slaudecker in that 45 machine is here, but he has not even touched the track yet. So I'm interested to see how he's, he's obviously very fast in qualifying, very fast during the races themselves, but he has not turned a lap here. And we tried to communicate with him earlier over the radio, and we didn't get a response from him either. So I'm not sure if he is indeed going to be here racing or if he is going to miss this one. So we'll see if he's a scratch for tonight's race. In advance, I do want to apologize if you hear me coughing. Had a fantastic weekend this weekend with the race on Texas Airs. We were out at the indoor MWRS Indoor Kart Series for the Texas Kart Nationals live pay-per-view. For 2 days, completely worn out. Again, need some band-aids to patch me back together, but we are glad to be here. Nevertheless, looking in chat, we got a lot of guys in the chat tuning in, a lot not chatting with us, so let us know who your pick is here, as we got some Bell fans out there, some Sky Motorsports fans out there as well. Let us know where you're tuning in from and who your pick for tonight's race win is. 2 minutes left on the clock. Trent Jump still your fastest driver. We do want to go over a few new rule changes that have been put in effect due to last week's race. Most notably, changes, of course, they go from 30 incident points to 15. That is cut in half. 50% off, but not the kind you want. Sorry, you're not getting that cheeseburger for 50% off. And you ladies out there, you're not getting that purse you've been eyeballing for 50% off. They have their incident point cut in half. 50%, which means they have half of the incidents they can have. And you get off track, that's 1. You hit the wall, that could be 0 to 2x. So you can do that half as many times before you are DQ'd from the race here tonight. That is going to be a game changer here as far as cautions go. The other thing that's going to be a game changer here, and again, the most notable change, is they have dropped the 1 fast repair. There are no fast repairs here. This is going to affect both people that are typically in wrecks, that get in a wreck, and have that fast repair, and the people that get caught up in the people that do have the wreck. So if you have in the past had a wreck or two and able to recover from it, that's not going to happen anymore. If you get caught up in somebody's wreck, well, if it damages too bad, your race is going to be over as well. So what it's going to do is it's going to cause these drivers to race a little less aggressive and a little more self-aware of who's around them and a little more cautious. So we'll be looking to see if that's the case or if they continue to go all out here today and just have disregard for that no fast repair. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to have a good sense of what's around them, who's around them, and not get into them. They do not want to incident point out of the race. Obviously, they don't want to have to use a fast repair because they don't got one anymore. So a lot of things changing here tonight. That being said, we have 10 seconds left on the clock before we move on. In right there, 5 seconds left on the clock. We're moving into qualifying here as we'll go ahead and get rid of the countdown screen off your screen and bring up your top bar here for the Adrenaline iRacing League. This is, of course, live here on Virtual Racing Network. .net. So this is, you can check us out on there. This is the YouTube channel, of course. We also have Facebook and the website and other social media if you need to contact us in any way. That being said, let's get to it as we have a lot of drivers already strapping in. It looks like Gavin Cohn is going to be one of the first drivers to come out on the track. We'll pull up the qualifying bar here in the number 69 machine. Definitely going to be someone to watch here tonight. Gavin Cohn, a good driver in this series. At 145 miles an hour already up to speed. We got a bunch of drivers out here. Jacob Hope, Adrian Paedra, Justin Bell, Trenton Jump, and Cody Slaudecker is getting into his car as well. Eric Stam, Bell getting into it. Tanner Johnson. So a lot of drivers getting strapped in and ready to go as the green flag has officially been waved. For that 69 of Gavin Cohn. Times will be coming in here momentarily. All right, and again, times will come in shortly. I expect to see some really fast times here from these guys. Again, we'll cross our fingers and hopefully don't have too many cautions here tonight. Obviously, we do need some. These drivers, some of them say they want to go caution-free. They don't want many cautions, but they really do. As Gavin Cohn is going to run a 32.346. Any race, any good race needs a couple of cautions. We'll get back to that here in a second as a 30.593 from Trenton Jump. Going to jump to the top of the charts. Tanner Johnson with a 30.690 as he's going to be dropped to third place as Justin Teal going to jump to the top of the charts with second, now third with a 30.469 as Jacob Hope going to jump to second with a 30.369. We'll look over to Slaudecker, who having a run not quite as fast as we're used to seeing from him. 31.069. He does not have his teammates here to help him tonight, so this could be interesting to see how he does, but he definitely would like to see his teammates out here racing with him, but they are not here, not a single one of them, as Dylan Browning going to take it to the top of the charts with a 30.336. And we'll check in with Bell if we can find him. I know he got some fans out there. He is. Matthew Bell in the number 20 is going to take a 13th fastest time, 31.042. Right behind Shane Abbey now and Alex Gretorix, who's going to take it, Austin Gretorix, who's going to take it to 13th. And he's going to drop as well. There was a lot of times starting to come in, as you can see at the top of your screen, but we still have a lot of drivers that have not put times in as well. Bell has been dropped from 13th to 16th, as right behind him is going to be Jared Matthew, and just like that, Bell's going to jump to 10th place in the number 20 machine, and we're going to have to get a new number there from the 20, as our number obviously blue, that is not matching the paint job. We'll have to get his new number, go back to the old one. Bronson Stafford in the 61 machine, currently 18th fastest with a 31.065. I would imagine to see him jump up just here a little bit as he is coming out of turn number 4 into the tri-oval, and across the line he goes, and it's going to be a 30.328.008 faster than Dylan Browning, as he'll take it to the top of the charts in the number 61 machine. We jump over to Matt Dyer in that 84 machine, and he is cruising around this track. Ryan Flanagan is strapped into his truck but has not come out onto the track just yet. We do have 55 seconds, so we'll see. And right there, we have 50 seconds to go. So Matt Dyer, second fastest, 30.332.005 behind Bronson Stafford. He has time to go around, but he's going to shut it down. Instead, Ryan Flanagan not going to come out onto the track. So that will do it for qualifying. 30 seconds left to go. Nobody has time to go out and run a lap. So not qualifying here tonight is going to be Evan Coleman, Herman Hart, Joshua Kane, Spencer Hilton, and Ryan Flanagan. Your pole sitter, though, is going to be Bronson Stafford with a 30.328, the fastest time here in qualifying tonight, followed by Matt Dyer, going to be on his outside. We'll go through the grid here in just a little bit. It's definitely some good times from a lot of drivers, but Bronson Stafford the fastest here in qualifying. All right, names are all jumbled up on the list here, so we're not going to be able to officially go through the entire starting grid here for you, unfortunately. We do hate when that happens. We don't have our grid in yet. We are trying to get that done. We have the design done. We just don't have the designer to do it yet, as he does not have internet to work on it and get us back to us, so we do apologize for that. We may have to resort back to an older set of overlays if we absolutely have to. Don't want to, but we may have to do something, maybe find a way to incorporate the old version into this one, kind of do a hodgepodge there. It's either way, we are set to get this thing going as they are on the grid. Bronson Stafford hasn't come onto the track just yet. So we'll get down there with Dylan Browning. So your pole sitter has not come onto the track, and there he is, Bronson Stafford, gonna get it started again. Front row gonna be Bronson Stafford and Matt Dyer here for tonight's race. Will be interesting to see if those two can hold off this field, especially the 61 of Bronson Stafford. We watched him in another league, broadcast of that league as well. From Upper Edge Racing, and we'll mention them just because we try not to promote another league in there, but that league is no longer open as the owners of that league decided to pursue more real racing stuff and put their focus in there. But Upper Edge Racing was a blast to cover. We loved it. Short track racing. So these guys are very familiar with racing, and racing at a high level at that. So obviously coming over here, racing with the skill set these guys have as well, there's a lot of 2,000-3,000 I ratings in this league. So they are very familiar with racing at that high level. And Bronson Stafford going to try to do it here tonight and put that 61 GoPro Toyota Tundra in victory lane. We'll see, as he's got the Rhino 84 Silverado to his outside. Cody Slaughter's third fastest here in the number 45 machine. We'll see if he's able to get by these guys and how quickly he can do it. But Bronson Stafford is set to take the green flag here in just a few moments. The pace car will be diving off. You see him entering into turn 4. Green flag is out, and we are racing 134 laps here tonight. Again, I don't even know his last name, and I doubt he'll ever watch this broadcast, but I want to give a big shout-out to Brian over there from the MWRS Indoor Kart Series, as it was an absolute blast working with him this past weekend. Unfortunately, won't get to work with him at the Graham race. But we'll definitely big shout out to him for doing an awesome job with the audio there and the announcing this past weekend. But it's up to me here tonight, so hopefully y'all aren't too disappointed. But we are getting this thing going. It's going to be Stafford, Browning, Jump, Step, and Slottick are going to fall back about 2 spots really. Is Browning going to try to make his way up to the lead? He is right there, but not quite being able to make it half. They're 4 wide on the backstretch back here. And I believe that's going to be Robert Kenny back here in this group as well. Tanner Johnson, Matthew Bell. Bell just gained 1 spot. He just went from 14th to 13th from Tanner Johnson. So he'll take over that spot in the number 20. And it looks like that 20 machine of Matthew Bell already having damage to the back side of the truck. And he's definitely losing. He does. He's got damage to the back of his truck already. Not sure when he got it. Obviously, between lap 1 and 2. As we're on lap number 3 right now. It looks like somebody got into the back of him early in this race, but he'll keep it going in the right direction. So we'll see if that damage does hinder him later on in this race. So far, we have not seen a caution. We have seen cautions early in the race in the past, but we're not seeing it here tonight, so that is good. We hope everybody out there is having a terrific night here tonight. And I know there's a lot of places you could be, a lot of things you could be doing, but we got a pass for the lead going on. And possibly it's going to be Ronson Stafford that drops back to second. Here comes Browning trying to make something happen, and he will get him at the line. As it's going to be Dylan Browning that leads lap number 4. We're on lap number 5 now. And a good run at that. We'll see if he's able to keep that lead. As here comes Trenton Jump in the 46 machine. The Bud Light, I'm not even sure which one that is. It says Dilly Dilly on the back. But again, not sure which Bud Light that is. It's Bud Light, obviously blue, but be interesting to see which Bud Light it is. I know they got Bud Light Orange out there. And I'm not sure which one the blue one is. If we go back, we'll show you that as we'll go there in a minute. Here comes Bronson Stafford back on the outside. He's going to try to make a pass, and he does with the help of Trent Jump at the 46. That's going to leave Browning kind of running solo out by himself, but he slides back in line just ahead of Cody Slaudecker. Slaudecker going to try to get by him on the next couple of corners. Just right there, you see him dive below the white line. Again, it is a white line. That is perfectly legal. It's only illegal if it's a yellow line. So the white line, perfectly legal here. You can go below it to make a pass. Obviously, in the corners, you don't necessarily want to do that. But it is legal. It is something you can do. That being said, we're on lap number 7 of 134. And a very, very good race so far. Not a caution in sight. We'll see. Hopefully, we didn't jinx the race by saying that. As we're going to go about midfield, 13th place. So Shane Abbey, Jared Maydew, Tanner Johnson, these guys all battling right here. Is that number 10? Shane Abbey getting a little loose there, but these guys are having to kind of feather it. They're not being able to push this as hard as they can through the corners. If they do, if you go into these corners too hot, you will spin the truck out. And there's a lot of apron here, so if you get that truck sideways and get below the apron, you probably will not see a caution. It just depends on who's around you. So you see right there, the 38. That is going to be Shane Therian, who goes around. Shane Therian going around, or I say around, into the grass, and it does not bring out a caution. So he's going to drop from about 8th to 9th place all the way to 19th position, and he may lose one more to Spencer Hilton in the 42 machine. We'll see. Slaudecker up to second as he's going to try to get to the lead. He is on the move now. That truck has come to life here in the long run, as he is again started in third. He slid all the way back to about sixth place, and now the 45 machine of Slaughter on the move to try to get back up to the front. He's already surpassed where he started. Can he get to Bronson Stafford? As Stafford has proceeded to check out from this field, as he has said, see you later. I'm going in the victory lane early in this race. We're 11 laps in. It will not be long before we're less than 100 to go. I know it's early to say that, but at the rate we're going, we are clicking off laps in a hurry. Even the GoPro helmet on there for the 61 machine. An awesome looking helmet. Slaughter right behind him a little ways. As we got cars throughout this entire field. Look at this is the battle for 19th position, folks, between Gavin Cohn, Joshua Cade, Ryan Flanagan, Aaron Coleman. Again, this is 19th spot battle going on at the back of the field, and there's battles everywhere throughout this field. As we got more battles going on up towards the front between about fifth place, Hope, Dyer, Kenny, Teal, Stamp, all these guys. There's battles all over the place. You go up a few more. There's another one going on between the 46 of Jump and the 24 of Hope. They've got a little battle going on. Right behind them is the 84 of Dyer in this mix as well. He separated himself from that group behind him and moved into this group. So all over this place, there are battles going on. Meanwhile, Slaughter into the outside wall. It's not going to hurt him too terribly bad, but I believe Browning's going to get by, and he does. So he will lose one spot, and that truck is going to be heavy damage, and that's what we were talking about, is you do not have the fast repairs you had before. So without that fast repair, that damage is going to cost him dearly here in the race. Oh, he's got to kind of baby it. That's what we're talking about, getting into the corners too hot. And unfortunately, that is what happens if you do. Trent jumped up to the high side, almost gets into the wall himself, keeps it going, though, and stays out of it. As look at behind him. Look at this battle going on there. Is Justin Teal in that Bud Light Lime Light. Number 32 machine. He's trying to run down the 34 of Robert Kenny. So we're going to go 3 wide into the corner, and whew, Justin Teal gets a little loose in that 32 machine, but he keeps it going. Alex Walker welcomes that. Just see you there tuning in. I definitely wish you were in the race with us here. We got a good car count. It looks, of course, the 9 of Evan Coleman didn't start, and I stand corrected. He may be having some connection issues. As right there, he is sliding it to a stop. And he's going to just bring it down to pit road as he spins it out there, goes into the grass. And that's exactly what we were talking about. If you go into the grass, go in there, you may not bring out a caution just for the fact that there's a lot of empty real estate down there. You can see below that white line, look how much real estate there is. Let's see if we can go to our aerial cam and see here. Look at all that real estate. There's 3, 4, almost 5 lanes of real estate down below. So if you get down there, you're probably not going to bring a caution out here at Las Vegas, especially not in the grass. You could go to pit road. There's a lot of places you can maneuver. Right in here, maybe, but the further you get, like right in here, it's not going to happen. Caution just not going to come out. It's unfortunate if you get caught back there, as we're here on the back straight fence. We got the number 24 U-Haul machine out there tonight in that Silverado for Jacob Hope, as he's kind of hauling the mail here in 4th place. He may find himself up at the front here before you know it. Eric Coleman going to come out of the pits, and you see that damage not repaired because there are no fast repairs here tonight or ever again in this league. They have gotten rid of them. So he's going to have to deal with what he has. Slaughter getting real loose coming out of turn number 2. He'll keep it going. It's somebody having connection issues back there. That's what that smoke was that you saw. Again, let us know where you're tuning in from tonight. I know we got a lot of people from all over the place. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in here on a Sunday night. We know there's a lot of places, a lot of things you could be doing. But you're here with us tonight, and we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. That being said, whoo, there's Slaughter getting loose again. Look behind these guys. As you have anywhere from the 10, as the first caution is going to come out for Gavin Cone in the 69. Let's go back and take a look. What happened to the 69 of Gavin Cone here? Let's take a look and see. And just breaks it loose. And into, no, he saves it from getting into the inside wall or outside wall. And there's a car right there. Those two cars that were able to get by him is the reason the caution came out and that he kept it on the racing surface. But Bronson Stafford, your race leader here at the moment, is we're under caution in that 61 machine. We'll step away to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll go back to racing action here, probably to start about lap number 23. Quality new or used car, truck, or SUV, head on down to Sames Ford in Corpus Christi, Texas, and browse through their inventory today. You won't be disappointed. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as those lights are off on the pace car, and of course you all know what that means. It is time to go racing. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to everything. Hit that bell to be notified, as we will have lots of racing action coming this week. Actually, by this week, not so much. We have Thanksgiving. But anyway, green flag is out, and we are racing as the 34. Robert Kinney is going to give a good push to the 61 of Bronson Stafford. He'll push him a little bit higher on the track. What a good race so far. We've seen only one caution in 24 laps. That is much better. I'm sure the league admin's much happier with that as we're coming in. We are 11 laps away from the 100 to go mark. Again, 100 to go seems like a lot, but it's not that many here at Las Vegas. It's a mile and a half. And we'll go ahead and get some information out to you here for your caution information. One caution, 3 laps, 4 different lead changes here for you. Hand over record service, caution, information break. And of course, your track information here tonight brought to you by Bulletproof Tees from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Your track length, 1.52 miles. A race distance today is 204 miles. 96 degrees. This track, excuse me, not quite as hot as it could be or it has been in the past. Still warm, but not as hot. 100 and 130 degrees. Those get up there quite a bit, but a nice warm but not overly hot track here for tonight. So that is definitely good, as Robert Kinney going to have the lead. Bronson Stafford going to fall back to third place. Here at the moment, as Dylan Browning going to get by. I know we got some Bell fans out there, so we'll check in with Bell. He is currently on the lead lap back in a 21st spot. Again, that damage slowing him down here just a little bit. Unfortunately, it may hinder him a lot later on in this race. It really kind of depends on how much damage other drivers do get. If enough drivers get some damage to their trucks to where it kind of evens out the playing field, he may be a contender later on tonight. We'll definitely see if that is the case. We're going to go about midfield here, as that's where the action is. Actually, right above mid, or right in front of midfield. Look at this. That's still your lead pack, folks. That includes Adrian Piedra in that 78 all the way up to your leader. That is this entire front group, your first 10, 12 cars, all bunched up right here together. That is a awesome amount of cars here, doing some terrific racing and keeping out of each other. So that is good as well. Definitely something, a better, an improvement, I guess you could say, from the past races that we've been able to run 29, make it 30 laps when they come to the line with only one caution. We have seen many more than that in 30 laps in the past. So the new rules here with the no fast repair and 15 incidents has greatly improved on that. That smoke y'all saw there for a split second, that is just from somebody blinking. Nothing to be worried about. No issues going on here. While we have a moment here, let's go up to the 61 here, Bronson Stafford, and let's go on board him for a lap or two. We'll go silent so you can just listen to the engine there, and let's see how that truck's handling for him as he's fixing to take second place back. All right, we're going to go stay on board here with one lap, but he takes the lead back there. That's probably wondering how that truck was handling for him, as he's not really having to fight it. You see he slides up the track almost to the outside wall, but he does keep it going very smooth here for that 61 of Bronson Stafford. Right behind him going to be Robert Kenner, followed by Dylan Browning. Ryan Flanagan, he has worked his way to the front as he started 23rd spot in that number 13 machine, and he has worked his way all the way up to third position. So a huge improvement, 20 spots gained. And no, those were not all gained on pit road. He did take a 14.43 second stop, 4 tires and fuel during that stop. So he has actually worked his way through this field from 23rd to 3rd. A fantastic move to the front. Shane Abbey will go back one spot, actually go up there, 19th to 3rd. Also taking a 14.6 second stop on pit stop, so that was not a gain there for him either. So a lot of drivers gaining a lot of positions here tonight. Go back here to Jacob Hope, who is doing a great job as well. We'll check in with him. Started 9th up to 6th. Not quite as good as the ones in front of him, but still a forward momentum, and that's all that really matters. As if you keep moving forward, eventually you could see yourself in victory lane. Cody Slaudecker from 3rd all the way back to 10th place. Not having the night he wanted here, has damage to his truck. He was able to get some of it repaired on pit road. Obviously, he couldn't get all of it repaired, and it's definitely showing here as he's possibly going to lose 9th place here to Matt Dyer in the 84 machine, but he is able to hold him off, and you can see the sun shining off these cars here tonight. It is extremely bright here, and that's going to affect especially some of these drivers out there with VR. You see the glare coming off the windshields. Any of that glare that we see, if they're running in VR headsets, they see that as well, and it's even worse for them, as it's actually like getting sun glare in your face. You almost need sunglasses here, so VR definitely a good thing right there. Look how bright that is, and that's what these guys are seeing inside the car as well, even without VR. As the 72 of Adrian Piedra going to get a little loose there. Maybe had the wind, the tires there taken off the back of him just a little bit. Cody obviously didn't hit him, but take the air off the back of that truck, and it can cause it to get a little bit loose. Bronson Stafford, though, once again checking out from this field by about 6-7 car lengths over Robert Kenny. Ryan Flanagan is sitting in 3rd. Dylan Browning in 4th, and Robert Hope in the 5th position, as the caution's going to come out for the 2nd time, and this time it's going to be for Adrian Piedra in the 78, who we already saw was a little bit loose. Let's go back and take a look. Let's go to the aerial cam here, brought to you by Sames Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And no contact there. It was very close. And was there contact made? He was already loose, and then maybe a little contact. Slaudecker going to get into the wall as well. And Slaudecker going to go for a ride in the grass as he's going to do some landscaping here. But the 78 of Adrian Piedra already loose before the 45 Slaudecker may have made a slight contact with him. So that's unfortunate for both of them, as Bronson Stafford, your leader, as we're under caution here for the 2nd time. Again, your Hanover Record Service caution number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Lights are off. We're in at turn number 4, which means right there is since the pit road pace car will be driving off this time, and we will go racing. And there goes a green flag coming out right about now. There it is, green flag out. We have about 90 laps to go. 90 laps, all that remains here in tonight's race. It's moving along very quickly. Kudos to the new rules and the league admins. This is their first season. So, people out there may be saying, hey, this is way caution, too many cautions. This is a brand new league, folks. They just got started. So they're learning the ropes the hard way here. They didn't have seasons of learning this stuff. They are doing this on the fly here for season number 1. Most people don't get a broadcast on their first season. We got a hold of them, got it worked out. And they are getting it worked out here. As right there you see 1, 2, and 3. Stafford, Kenny, and Browning just bumper to bumper right now. We'll see if any chrome horns get you later on tonight. But Stafford out front, and somebody coming down is going to be some Gretorix. It's on pit road. So it's be interesting to see how those 3 can hang on to the front. They've got a nice little lead over everybody else. So we'll see if they can hang on to that lead. Shane Abbey behind them, doing a good job. And look how punched up they are. Again, this is just after the restart, but they stayed this way for quite a while. And we've only seen those 2 cautions so far for 7 laps out of 47 laps completed as they come to the line. That is a huge improvement from, say, Atlanta, where that track's already hot anyway. But to go from 4 or 5 cautions by this point, where we would record out at around 13 or 14, maybe even 15 to 2 in 47 laps, that is absolutely amazing. Again, a lot of rule changes go into effect to make all of it happen. So we'll definitely be checking throughout the season to see if that does continue. We won't be here next week, I don't believe, unless they do decide to bring us on. We have a set schedule, but that schedule does kind of change from time to time. It's a little fluid. So we'll see. Shane Abbey has worked his way up to the 3rd place. He was in 2nd. Robert Kenny right there with him. And those are teammates, by the way. Stafford, Abbey, and Kenny all there together running 1, 2, and 3. So they're going to race clean to each other. Dylan Browning back there as well. Not quite part of that team, but he's trying to mix it up with the top 3. So you have 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of a gap. And then 4, 5, and 6. And then you have another gap. And after that, you get to 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, maybe all the way back to about 15th, all kind of lumped together right here as you're watching the number 53 of Eric Stamp in that Taco Bell number 53 machine, and Shane Therian back there in the number 38 machine, that Evil Controllers. Just amazing Toyota. That paint job looks amazing. A great product as well. If you haven't ever checked out an Evil Controller, they're not cheap, but they are definitely worth it to check out. They've just gotten nothing but better ever since. Still wish I had mine, but I don't anymore. Wouldn't matter. I don't have anything to use it on anyway. But if I did, I would definitely be using it on games. But regardless of that, let's go back to the front as Robert Kennedy gets back around Shane Abbey. So Shane Abbey going to fall back to 3rd place once again. They're just trading 2nd place back and forth here quite a bit. Dylan Browning trying to make his way to the top 3. He's right there with them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You might as well count 7th place in the mix as well. Of Trenton Jump. He's not quite up this front group, but he's definitely trying. He's the closest one to him. But Jacob Hope doing an awesome job, as well as Ryan Flanagan. These 2 drivers obviously coming from another league that I do not believe is open, and we're not going to mention the name of that league as it is irrelevant at this point. But those 2 coming over from there, doing a good job hanging on to 5th and 6th place here at the moment. Bronson Stafford, though, out front, leading this race here on lap 53 of 134. Just, an amazing race here for this group of guys. They do an outstanding job week in and week out to get ready as the caution is going to come out for the third time. And it looks like the 57 of Matthew Rodriguez is going to be involved in it. Let's go back and take a look, see if that's the case. As he's running strong here, he already had damage. I'm not sure if this was the cause of the caution or not. And we'll find out. And no, it's not. I'm not sure who that is. Who that actually brought the caution that's in the grass there. I'm not sure who that is that actually brought out the caution. They were through the grass. So we'll see if we can't take another look at it and see. I believe that might have been... the 84 that's going around of Matt Dyer. That's who goes around there into the grass, and that will bring out the third caution of the night. Here for the 84 of Matt Dyer. Everybody coming down pit road. No surprise there. However, Jared Matthew is not. He is going to stay out to lead this, but everybody else coming down as what was your leader, Bronson Stafford, going to be taking 4 tires and a fuel. Will Jared Matthew come down is the question, as he is currently staying out. So is the 98, but the 98 is currently on the tail end of the lead lap. Actually, no, he's not showing. He's showing on the lead lap for Calvin Gretorix, so I'm not sure if he's going to come down, but he is still showing in 23rd place, but he's not showing a lap down. So we'll see if he does go ahead and come down pit road here in just a minute. But Jared Matthew, your race leader here at the moment in the 51 machine. You see right there, he currently is in first, started 10th, has been as low as 23rd. I'm not sure if he's going to try to stay out to maybe lead a lap, or if he is going to try to stay out on 12-lap tires. That will be interesting to see how those tires hold up. He also has some damage as well, but he is not coming down pit road this time, so it looks like he will be your race leader when we come back from this caution break. All right, the drivers come into turn 4. Pace car times off. We have 77 laps to go when we take the green, and there it is. Green flag is out again. 77 laps to go. We are closing in on the halfway point of this race here tonight. Again, 134 laps. We had to ask why 134 ourselves. Is it a different number? It's not even 35 or 40 or 30. That is the actual distance the trucks run. They run full-length truck races here in this series. We knew it for some of them. We weren't paying close attention. Probably would have guessed that anyway. But we are back to racing action here again. When they come to the line, it will be 76 laps to go here in the race. Again, halfway point going to be coming up here shortly. For tonight, again, 130 would be, I believe, what, 75? I don't know. Either way, halfway point going to be coming up here shortly as we got a battle for the lead between Stafford and Kenny. Browning trying to get into the mix as well. Look how close they are. You could barely separate those two with a fine-tooth comb, as those two are right there together, glued at the bumper. Two Toyotas out front, followed by a Chevy in your top three. So, again, we'll see how these guys go. We'll take a look at your track information. 101 degrees. This track has increased in temperature from 96 to 101 degrees. It has gone up quite a bit considering we were under caution. So, definitely interesting to keep our eye on that. We've had 3 cautions here tonight. 60 laps complete when they come to the line right there. You can see the flag stand. And right there, 60 laps have been completed here in tonight's race. As it's Stafford out front, we got a lot of battles going on here. The 29 of Logan Brakey, he's also battling with Shane Abbey. Trenton Jump, Shane Atherian getting into the mix. Robert Hope, Adrian Piedra, Matthew Bell, all these guys battling. We'll go back to Matthew Bell since we know he's got some people out there watching for him here tonight. He is currently in the 11th position here tonight, doing a fantastic job, almost in a top 10, as all he's got to do is get by the 78 of Piedra, and he will have a top 10 finish if the race was to, of course, end right now. However, we both know that is not anywhere close to being over, so he will have to keep fighting and moving forward in this race if he wants to do it, and he does it right there. 10th place belongs to Matthew Bell. We'll go check in with Matthew Rodriguez in that 57 machine, who has had some damage due to contact early on in this race. He's back in 20th, still on the lead lap. The first car a lap down is going to be Calvin Gretorix in the 98 machine, and Jared Matthew in the 51. These are the only 2 laps down, as Cody Slaudecker 21 laps down, but he's out of the race. Not sure what happened to him. He did have damage from getting into the outside wall earlier and has since retired it from this race. Back to the front we go. Look at this group. Here comes the 13 of Ryan Flanagan. He's going to try to get to the inside of the 34 of Robert Kenny. It doesn't happen. Now he's going to try to make his move on the outside. So he is making moves like a madman out here, as now the 61 going to get shuffled back to second place as Robert Kenny's going to take the lead. And Ryan Flanagan trying to make it 3 wide as he wants to get to the lead. He's going to be side by side with Robert Kenny for the lead. Can he get it? It's the question. Robert Kenny going to be fast, but so is Ryan Flanagan. We'll see. Both of them going to be right there, and it looks like Ryan Flanagan is going to suffer a little bit of a loss. He's going to fall back to third place as he slides up in front of the 12, and then he gets loose, and that's going to cost him time, but nothing else, and a few positions as well, as 3 trucks get Brian. He's going to lose third. And I thought we had a caution out, but we do not. We stay green, as it looks like Browning, Brakey, and Terrian are going to get by him. Ryan Flanagan goes from 3rd place to 6th place because that's just that little bit of a bobble he had on the track. That is what happens. You get these trucks just a slight bit loose, and bad things can happen, unfortunately. So it is unfortunate when that does happen to you, but you can fight your way back to the front. Let's go on board with Ryan here, and let's see how that truck is handling as he's having a good run, just got a little bit loose there. And caution coming out here. We'll get off on board and let's go back to our main camera. And that is actually going to be the stage caution. Nobody off pace. So a stage caution coming out. Again, that caution was called by race control. As we'll step away for it because there is no caution. And we'll come back when the lights go off and we go to racing again. But stage caution coming out here. The completion of lap 68. Again, just a stage caution. Nobody involved in a wreck here for this one. All right, pace car goes to dive off right there, and we are going racing one more time. Let's see if we can keep it green for the remainder of the race. Double file restart is underway. We're on lap 72 of 134. Again, that caution there was not for a wreck. It was strictly for the stage caution. We'll see how they go here for the rest of this race, as we have 72 laps completed here on lap 73. It's going to be Stafford, Kinney, Thurian, Brakey, and Brownie going to be your top five here on lap 73. Look at the sun shining down the hoods of these cars. It is bright here at this Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The sun is shining. Obviously not so much in real life as it's nighttime here, but not in Las Vegas on iRacing. The sun is shining, and we are racing. This track will check in 104 degrees. Since the caution, it has actually gone up 3 degrees, as caution is going to come out, and this time it's going to involve a few drivers. Ryan Flanagan going to be involved, as well as looks like Robert Kenny going to be involved. Let's take a look and see what happened. Let's go to the aerial cam if we can and see what happened. We know the 13 was involved, and I think it stemmed from up front. It does, as a contact between the teammates there. I believe that was Thurian and the 34 of Kenny, and collects the 20 as well as Bell, and the 13 of Ryan Flanagan. So 4 or 5 drivers involved in that caution, as Stafford's still out front, but multiple drivers involved in that, including Matthew Bell, Ryan Flanagan, Robert Kinney, and Shane Terrian, who looked like he got a little piece of the action there as he gave to the back bumper of his own teammate. Obviously not intentional there, and it may not quite have been contact. Just from the aerial view there, it does look like there was, but there may have not actually been any contact made. But he goes around as we're under caution once again here. This is your 5th Hanover Wrecker Service caution here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, with 74 laps completed. Again, only 4 technical cautions. One of those was the stage. We are step away. We will step away, and we will be back here in just a few moments with the next green flag coming out here in just a couple of laps.
The cream rises to the top.
All right, let's light this candle one more time. Pace car dives off onto pit road. And green flag will be coming out right there. Green flag is out that little line. That is the line to start the race. And we are racing here once again on lap 79 of 134. Just a few cautions here. I believe 4 or 5 of us have been what we've had. It has been an absolute amazing race here tonight, and we'll continue that trend, I'm sure, throughout the rest of this season. As Robert Kenny struggling there, he's not quite there anymore. But Bronson Stafford up front. Robert Kenny gonna be 3 laps down, so he is still sitting on pit road. Again, had a very, very fast car. Obviously, those few cautions and getting involved in one of them not going to help him at all. So he is now pretty much, for all intents and purposes, out of this race. We may see him come back here in just a little bit. Dylan Browning is sitting in the second position here, doing a fantastic job. Matthew Bell, 6 laps down. He is also in pit road. Again, this is a product of not having those fast repairs anymore. If you get involved in a caution, you get too much damage, your day is pretty much done. You got to sit on pit road and get it fixed. It's not what anybody wants, but unfortunately that is how real racing is. You don't have a magic wand to fix these cars. You got some duct tape, but you don't have a magic wand, and you have to sit there and do those repairs. We got a nice little battle going on between Trenton Jump and Tanner Johnson here for 4th position. Let's go on board with Tanner Johnson here and see what it's like to be behind the wheel for him. And Tanner Johnson fighting there, but he can't quite complete the pass as he's getting dilly-dillied out there by the Bud Light line, number 32 machine. Oh, I just can't quite do it. And he's actually going to lose a spot here to the 42 machine. Oh, that is going to be Spencer Hilton. As he'll get by him, we'll go back to our main cameras. They're side-by-side battling for 6th position. So he tried to get by the 32 of Justin Teal and ended up losing a spot to the 42, but they haven't officially sorted that one out just yet, as the 42 does get him at the line of Spencer Hilton, but Spencer Hilton not quite completely by him. So interesting, you got the 23 and the 32 backwards numbers there, but either way, they are battling, we're battling now between the 42, and there he does get by him. So you got the Bud Light Lime and the Bud Light Apple there. Pick your favorite if you drink Bud Light at all. Pick your favorite there, apple or lime. Let us know in chat what's your favorite, apple or lime. There's also an orange out there somewhere, so let us know, orange, apple, or lime. What's your favorite Bud Light in chat? Let us know by typing just that word, apple, orange, or lime in chat. Meanwhile, Bronson Stafford out front in that GoPro machine. If I had to pick, I wouldn't pick either one of the Bud Lights. I'd go with that GoPro. But let us know which one's your favorite out of those 3 choices. As Stafford again had his toughest competition, I think, in Robert Kenny, but that was his teammate. Right behind him is Dylan Browning. So Browning is still in this race, and he is giving Stafford a run for his money in that 12 machine here tonight. Stafford out front. He leads uh, a a lot here. So I don't know if he's going to win. I can't say that he will win this, but he's got Browning behind him, so that's going to make it a little bit tougher on him. It's going to push him to lead this race, or to win this race even harder. Logan Breakey behind all of them in that number 29 machine. Sports.net, I believe is what it says on there. Trenton Jump behind him, followed by Justin Teal, Spencer Hamilton, Hilton, Tanner Johnson, Jacob Hope, Gavin Cohn, and Herman Hart. Those are your top 10 drivers. And just like that, Herman Hart going to drop to 11th as Matt Dyer is going to take over the 10th position here on lap number 89 of 134. We got a nice little battle going on here, as that's going to be Hope that's going for a spin through the grass, though no caution will come out, as he will get it gathered back up. So he goes for a little landscaping through the grass, and it gets it back onto the track, but he's going to lose about 5 positions because of that little spin through just ride through the grass, and he is going to continue to lose spots all the way back down to 16th position. We'll see. Meanwhile, up front, teammates passing each other here, as that's going to be Stafford putting Kenny another lap down. Second place, Browning trying to get by Robert Kenny as well, but hasn't been able to completely clear him. Well, let's see again. Checking in on some stats here. The last time around, 31.919 for your race leader, Bronson Stafford. His his fast lap, 30.477 here in the race. That was not the fastest lap, as Browning had a 30.413. And even behind them, Trenton Jump, who's in third place, had a 30.387. But these guys are actually running a lot faster laps than the competition. 32.076 for your leader, 32.078 as those just update now. Bronson Stafford, 32.250 to a 32.365. So Bronson Stafford about a tenth faster on that lap than Browning. So Browning has his work cut out for him if he wants to get to the front here and run down your race leader. And they are all over the place right now. Lap cars in the mix, as well as Adrian Piedra just goes a lap down. Had a good car here tonight, but not going to be showing the finish he wants at the end of the night as well. Jacob Hope 3 laps down now after that little incident. He did have to come down at pit road for 52 seconds. So again, not the run he was wanting, but in the end, it will have to be what he has to settle for. Assuming nobody gets out of the race. We lose a few more cars, these guys could gain some positions. Right now, we're on lap 95 of 134. The race winding down very quickly here. We will not be racing much longer. Therefore, they had to hurry if they want to get to the front. Let's go over to Browning. We haven't been on board with him. Let's see how his truck is handling here tonight in that number 12 machine. All right, we are back, and no, it doesn't look like it's handling too bad for him here. We'll see. We'll talk to him later on tonight if he finishes in the top 3, and see how it was handling. I thought there for a minute he may have got it a little loose, and right there he does get it a little loose again. As it came around just a little bit, but not too much, and he is able to keep it going around lap 99 of a 134. Of course, when we start lap 101, we will be at the 34 to go mark, as he's going to bring it down pit road. So it looks like we're having our fuel runs here. We'll see, possibly maybe short pitting here. 23 laps. Is I'm pretty sure we've gone further than that, but he is going to bring it down pit road. I do believe this is a short pit. I think they can make it to the end on fuel from this point. So again, I believe a short pit here for the 12, as we're going to go to Bronson Stafford, who is still out on the track. So we know right there he can make it more than 23, 24 laps, as Bronson Stafford on lap number 25 of this stint. He will continue to lead this race. Trenton Jump now in second place, followed by Spencer Hilton here. Let's take a look, see where he started. 21st up to 3rd. He is on the move here through this field, as that number 42 machine is fast. Does he have anything for the leader? They'll know that here in just a little bit. Shane Tarian in that 38 machine. He has been an up and down night here tonight. Checking in, you see, not showing a Lotus, but 8th place where he started. 4th, but I'm pretty sure he's been a little bit lower than that early on in this race. Justin Till having a good race. So is Tanner Johnson here. As you'll see his information there. Started 12th, he's up to 6th. He's gained 6 spots since the start of this race in that Bud Light Apple Toyota Tundra. A good run for just about everyone. Obviously, if there's a good run for somebody, somebody's having a bad run. But you don't want to be those people. Obviously, the people not having a good night here tonight. Jared Matthew out of the race now. Ryan Flanagan 16 laps down. Austin Gretorix is currently 20 laps down. Matthew Bell 29 laps down. Those two on pit road. Ryan Flanagan is back out on the track. Cody Slaudecker and Evan Coleman currently out of the race as well. Robert Kenny now 13 laps down. Jacob Hope 2. Adrian Piedra 2 laps down. Dylan Browning, who is 1 lap down. That is because of a pit stop there, a short pit. We won't count that one yet. He will get his lap back once everyone comes down pit road and completes their last stop. So technically, he may be a lap down, and that's going to hurt him right there. That may stop him from having a winning truck here. He had a shot, I think, and that was what he was doing, was short pitting, but then overdrove it into the outside wall. And that may have just cost him enough damage that he won't have the truck he needs to stay in front of Bronson Stafford even after the short pit. So, will that damage slow him down enough that he can't get the win? We will know here in probably about, I'd say, 15, 20 laps or so. As it looks like it is. Bronson Stafford going to bring it down pit road here on lap 29. I would imagine their fuel window is probably about 30 laps. Well, maybe closer to 35 as these guys bringing it down pit road here. Bronson Stafford will stick with him through this pit stop and see as Trenton Jump, your new race leader here at the moment. This needs to be a good stop for Stafford as he's going to pull it in. And he will. Pulls it to a stop. He's perfect. The right side of the car, the truck, sorry, goes up. And I would expect to see the left side go up as well. We do 4 tires and fuel for the 61 of Bronson Stafford as Trenton Jump also coming down. And we got the 32 sideways on the pit road. That is Justin Teal. He's going to get an unsafe pit entrance, I'm sure. And possibly speeding is the 32 of Justin Teal sideways on pit road, taking out the commitment cone. Meanwhile, Spencer Hilton's your new race leaders. We're under caution here. And not sure who the caution is going to be for. as we have several cars slow on the track. So let's go back and take a look. And it may have been for the 32. Spinning it on pit road as nobody else off pace. So there you have it. Caution comes out. And this is not good for some people, good for others. Spencer Hilton, your race leader here at the moment. These guys that have already pitted are in trouble. So they've already pitted. They're going to get the wave around. They're going to be starting at the back of the line here. So this is the last thing they wanted to see. But we will be back here when those lights go off to recap what happens now on the restart. And we're going to have about 20 or so, less than 20 to go here shortly. So we will be right back after this caution break. All right, pace car has dived off. Green flag is out, and we are racing here for the last few laps of this race. We are, of course, on lap 112 of 134. Laps are winding down here in the race. I expect to see a great finish here. Probably one of the best finishes we have seen all season. Stafford out front. He has led 87 laps of this race. He hasn't led them all, but he has led quite a few, and he is going to try to put himself into victory lane and lead these last few laps of the race. Can he do it again? Lap 113 of 34 is what we are on here at the moment. I again expect to see one of the best finishes that we have seen all season here with 21 laps left to go in this race. I knew we'd go green somewhere around 20, but 21 laps to go. Is this going to be 20 to go when we get to the line? As they are coming up on it. Single file. This is probably the first time we've really been single file here. And we do have some lap cars in the mix here for this. Most notably here, if we go back just a little bit, Ryan Flanagan. No, sorry, that's not Ryan Flanagan. Who is that? Maybe it's not a lap car. No, it's not. That's the 53 of Eric Stamp in the Taco Bell. We got two Taco Bell trucks, as I thought that was Ryan Flanagan back there, but he is actually further back in the field. That's the 53 of Eric Stamp in the Taco Bell machine. He is fighting his way up to third place now. He just was in fourth with Shane Terrian. He's going to battle side by side with him for third position, and that is good news if you're Bronson Stafford, as it's going to allow him to keep moving forward away and pulling away from this field. But he's got Trenton Jump right behind him. As we'll note here, the 12 of Dylan Browning has fallen back here just a little bit. He's still in the lead lap, but he is not with that lead group anymore. That damage is going to cost him a little bit. As we go back to the front, Stafford Jump there, and Stamp and Hinton are going to be your, I keep calling him Hilton. It is Hinton in the 42. So Spencer Hinton, my bad, mispronouncing the last name on Hilton. It is Hinton in the number 42 machine. But again, a terrific race here tonight, caution-wise. We've only had 6 cautions here with 20 laps out of the 116 that completed. A much better record here than we've seen in the past couple of races with 13 to 15 cautions. So the new formula definitely turning down the cautions by quite a bit. That is definitely good to see. But Bronson Stafford here on lap 118, 93 laps led. Very few laps to go if Shane Terrian wants to try to get by him. Terrian definitely going to be digging as deep as he can to try to get the lead, but he's got a little bit of damage to the left side of his truck. It looks like superficial damage, some scrapes. I don't see any major damage. Obviously, even if there is, it's not slowing him down, as he is right on the back bumper of that 61 machine, and he is absolutely digging, trying to make something happen here to try and get the race lead away, as he definitely wants to get it sooner than later, so he can try to lead as many laps as he can. Obviously, nobody's going to lead the most laps here other than Bronson Stafford with that 94 laps led, as he's going to make it 95 laps right there. As we're on lap 120 of 134, we will have 20 to go in 4 laps. Once we complete lap 124, we will have 10 laps to go. Smoke is flying. I'm not sure who it's coming from, but they are going to be out of harm's way. As looks like somebody's coming down pit road. Not sure who that is. And there they officially enter the pit road entrance. That is going to be Calvin Gretorix, who comes down pit road in that 98 machine for his 7th stop tonight. So He is coming down with heavy damage. Obviously not a scheduled stop. Bronson Stafford holding off Shane Terrian here for the moment. Looks like Terrian going to slide back just a little bit. Not quite as close as he was. But this is where it's going to get interesting, folks. Lap cars coming into the mix here, as it looks like one of them's going to go up high. Here comes Adrian Piedra, though. He is up on the high side as well. And he's going to let the leaders by, no problem, doing the respectable thing. Lets the front two by, but unfortunately he doesn't let, well, there he is. He's going to let him by, but the third place car, the 53 of Eric Stamp, didn't get the as easy of a free pass as the front two did, and it was no fault of the 78 of Piedra. There was just no room. It ran out of real estate. He took the high side, and then by the time you get out of the corners, that's where everybody was anyway. So wasn't anything he did. Just ran out of room going underneath, and we have him once again here on lap 123. They are battling for the lead between Stafford and Berrien. Sorry about that, folks. Losing my voice here just a little bit, as we're trying to keep it as long as we can. As we're on lap 124. At the completion of this lap, there will be 10 laps to go in the race. 10 to go, plus the post-race show. And no, we did not intend for that to rhyme, but we'll do it every time. That one actually we did. We have now 10 laps to go right there at the line. 10 to go here for Bronson Stafford to put this thing in victory lane here tonight. And we'll see. Maybe he's got some GoPro footage out there from his victory lane celebration if he gets to it. We'll find out here momentarily, as he is doing a fantastic job. But again, that 38 machine right there with him. Shane Terrian battling with him. Can he get by him? He's going to try on the outside. Doesn't work. Oh, maybe it does. Does he get by him? We'll see. Shane Terrian, your race leader. I'm not sure what in the world happened to Bronson Stafford, as he just lost 2 spots all of the sudden. He's going to drop all the way back to 3rd place. What in the world happened to Stafford to go from the lead to 3rd place in one single corner? Something did not go right. Didn't look like he got into the wall or anything like that. There's no damage, but he has to check way up, it looks like, and then that allowed Terrian and Stamp to both get by him here. And Stafford's still hanging on to 3rd place, though, but I, again, not sure what happened to that 61 machine, as he is now hanging on to 3rd place, and it's all about Shane Terrian here at the moment with 8 laps to go. Going to be 7 at the line. Shane Terrian out front here with 6 to go. Again, looks like Adrian Piedra slow on the track. Will this bring out a caution? He is on the apron. I don't think it will. And he is going to bring it to a stop, and his night is done. Adrian Piedra looks like he had some more damage and ran out of power. The power plant went kabooey on that thing, and it is toasted, done, fried, whatever you want to say. His engine is done here tonight, as Shane Terrian takes the 5 to go signal from the flagman. 5 laps to go. That is all that remains here between him and Victory Lane. And again, I'm not sure what's happening to Bronson Stafford. As he once again has fallen backwards to fourth place as Trenton Jump is able to get by him. So I'm not again sure what may be happening there. We'll have to definitely chat with him and see what happened if we get a chance to. But that would be post race off the air. But we'll let you know next time we come back for sure. But 4 laps to go for your race leader, Shane Terrian, out there leading this race. And you got a battle for second now taking place. Eric Stamp getting by Trenton Jump, and he's going to easily take the second position from him. Sorry, that wasn't Jump. That was a lap car. That was not Jump. That was a lap car. So he did get by one spot. As the caution's going to come out with 3 to go. And it's going to be Logan Brakey in the 29. Let's go back and take a look. And it looks like it just broke loose on Brakey here. And we'll see right there. It does break loose. And spins it around into the grass he goes. And I'm sure he's going to end up backing it back on the track. No, he doesn't. But the caution going to come out either way for the cars around him. As we go back to live, we will have a green-white checkered shootout here to the end. But we'll be right back when those lights go off for here for your first attempt at a green-white checkered here tonight. All right, pace car dives off. Green flag is in. There it is. Green flag is out, and we are racing. This could be the last 2 laps of the race. 2 laps to go. 2 sticks in the air for your race leader, Shane Terrian. Bronson Stafford right back behind him now after the pit stops. Can he work his way back to the front? He's up there, but not in the winning spot in first. Something happened to that 61. We may get the chance to talk to him and find out what exactly happened. And there you see the damage. So maybe he did get into the outside wall and we missed it. We caught the tail end of it and it wasn't showing any damage at the time. So there may have been a little bit of a glitch, but it's going to slow him down enough. White flag is in the air, which means the next flag will be the checker. We will not end this race under caution. It's Shane Terrian out front, followed by Bronson Stafford and Herman Hart are your top 3 drivers here at the moment. And it's going to be all about Shane Terrian here tonight, at least for victory lane's sake, as he's bringing it to victory lane right now. Checker flag goes to the 38 of Shane Terrian here tonight. What a race. Didn't see, he had a good run, but I didn't quite see him sitting in victory lane. As you see right there, he started in 8th and he worked his way up to the front off a lucky break from Bronson Stafford and hung on to it as he was all over his bumper early on in the race, or late in the race, sorry, and he finally made it happen. As you may see a little celebration there between teammates, probably give him a little bit of a tap. We'll see. He's going to be doing some celebration here in a moment. We're going to drop down to the radio chatter, talk to these guys here in the top 3, and we will be right back with your post-race show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with your top three drivers here in the booth. We're lazy, so we had them come up here instead of us going down there to pit road. So we will start, as always, with the third place driver here tonight, which is going to be Logan Brakey, as we referred to him as Brakely earlier. That is incorrect, but anyway, the driver of the 39 machine here with us. First off, congrats on the third place in a very tough, hard-fought battle here. A lot less cautions here tonight. Obviously, one of those being the stage caution. How did the truck handle out there? And we already talked this track very bumpy.
Yeah, I mean, for the early stages of the race, it seemed like everybody was really how the trucks were handling. There was the turn 1 and 2 kind of lacked grip a little bit due to it being so bumpy, and 3 and 4 seemed to hold the grip really well all race long, actually. So for the majority of the race, it was very manageable. Once the tires went away, though, it turned into a skating rink out there for a lot of drivers. So you kind of got the best of both worlds there. Some of the guys like the way the truck drives whenever it's really loosey-goosey, and obviously others prefer it when it's got a lot of grip. So best of both worlds out there for the majority of the race.
Definitely, depending on how you like it. Obviously, the track may have been good for you. It didn't get quite as hot here. I think the hottest we saw was 104. We have seen this track upward, tracks in the past upwards 120, 30 degrees. You think having that track temp down a little bit helped with the racing as well?
Yes, absolutely. The way the trucks handled in traffic versus how they handled in clean air it was just astronomical difference. There was a lot of aero push when you got right up behind the truck, and there was the opposite effect when you were that truck that was in front. The back end would get really, really light. So on a really, really hot track, it would be almost undrivable. So we're thankful that it stayed below 100 for majority of the race.
Well, it definitely did. And before we let you go, we know you got some sponsors, shout-outs, and some other stuff you need to say here before we head over to second place.
Big thanks to Sportsnet for involuntarily sponsoring my ride for this afternoon and for the whole season. Rehire Don Cherry, please. And as I need to put on the admin shoes here for just a little bit. Want to apologize to all of our drivers for the way that race finished. The caution should not have been thrown there. It was just a lapse of judgment. Thought maybe that my truck was going to slide back up into a dangerous area, and iRacing wasn't throwing the caution. It was just all we can say is that it was a lapse of judgment. We apologize to any of those that their races turned out for the worse because of that. We're human. We're going to make mistakes like that. Unfortunately, this one was just a very poor mistake, and we hope you can understand and continue to stick around and continue racing the rest of the season with us.
Well, definitely, mistakes do happen like that. A little trigger happy there. I know, hopefully they'll continue to race. However, I would not go hunting with him. That would be a bad idea, probably. That being said, we have second place with us here before we go into a laughing spell. That is the 61 of Bronson Stafford. First off, you led the most laps here, I believe like 90-plus laps. You come in second place. We saw you leading and then fall back to about fourth place. So the first tough question we asked is what happened? We did see a little bit of damage, but it wasn't initially there when we saw you fall back. So I'm not sure if it was a glitch or if you got into the wall. But what happened there as you were running in the lead of this race?
Quite simply, wasn't used to racing around people at all. Pretty much the whole race, led literally 100 laps on the dot, and Shane got to the right rear a little bit, and I think it just upset it the slightest bit. I got loose, went through the grass, and then was just trying to get back around Eric in the 53, and off of 4 it got loose, and instead of spinning out, I put the right front into the wall and just pretty much had to nurse the truck back home. So the caution, I don't know. I would have finished fourth or better, but getting second for a 1-2 for the team is really nice, at least.
Definitely, we were probably going through the field when it happened. We come back and you're sliding backwards. But again, that caution, we talk about cautions all the time. Sometimes they are a godsend. There's something you really need. In this case, it was. Other times, they can kind of screw you over there just a little bit. It depends on how it is. Some people benefit, some people don't. But in the end, this one helped you. Prior to that, obviously, you led a ton of laps, were out front pretty much all day by yourself. So, how was this truck handling? Obviously, we know this track's bumpy, but obviously, you had a really good handling truck tonight.
Yeah, honestly, the truck was pretty good. It was a tad loose, but manageable, so you could really kind of work the lanes how you wanted to and like save the right rear a bit more and being able to save the speed for the end. And I think I did that a lot better than most people in the field. I was a little more vulnerable at the starter runs, but I think, as you probably noticed, as it went on, I would open up to a second, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second gaps kind of thing. So unfortunately, the caution came during the green flag stops. I think I probably, given I didn't make any mistakes, I think probably could have won the race from there. Just simply because I think, honestly, Shane was one of the next quickest guys on long run, and he was about 6 seconds back, and we were pretty even. And I would have came out maybe 3 seconds behind the 12 on fresher tires. So bad timing for that caution, but overall, yeah, the truck handled a little loose, but kind of snug as well. Just you could actually manage it, and it was pretty good over the bumps if you took it a little higher on entry. And overall, I mean, it drove pretty good.
Definitely, before I lose my voice, it's handled like a champ there, it looked like. Although you didn't get the win, you get the 1-2 for your team. So the last question before we give you a chance to thank your sponsors and give your shout-outs is, of course, since it was a team 1-2 finish, you think Shane's going to invite you to the after party?
I don't know. I don't know if he has after parties anymore having a kid, but we can only hope maybe at that point.
We'll see. We'll talk to him. Not sure how old it is. Maybe he'll invite you to the diaper changing party. I don't know. We'll have to find out how old the kid is here in just a minute. But any shout outs you want to give? Any sponsors you need to thank for that second place finish here tonight?
Yeah, as usual, just thanks to Cineplex, always on board on the truck in some way. We got GoPro on the truck right now, and then obviously my whole team back at Sky Motorsports with me, Shane Terry, and Robert Kenny, Matthew Rodriguez, Calvin, and Austin Greater-X. We also race around with Matt Dyer and them, so we have some good guys on the team. At one point, I mean, we finished the stage 1, 2, 3 as well, so just a really solid day overall, I think. Some good team points gained and all that stuff, but, just a big shout out to everyone back at Sky Motorsports. Brought some really fast trucks, as it showed.
Again, congrats on the second place. I know we had some Sky Motorsports out there in the chat. And that'll bring us to our race winner here tonight. That is going to be Shane Turian in that number 38 machine. You put it in victory lane here. You were right there all race, well, at least the last chunk of it anyway. Watching those last 10 laps, last 20 laps. What was this truck like? Obviously, you mentioned earlier you had to pass a ton of cars to get there, but you end up getting by your own teammate, getting the win, and then trying to hold off on the green-white checkered. What was it like out there tonight?
That was fun. I think my advantage was I drove hard the entire race. So when Bronson had to race hard, he didn't really expect what his truck was going to do. So having to come back from the back of the pack 3 times tonight had an advantage, I guess you could say, racing to the lead. But that was fun. I spun out early, and then went to the back, got to third at the end of the stage, wrecked with my teammates. It just happens with this team, and then got right back to the front. So I don't know how many cars I passed, but I had fun.
Well, you definitely, obviously, always a lot of fun when you're sitting in victory lane. So the question that we mentioned kind of earlier to Bronson there was, are you going to be having an after party here?
Probably. I mean, to answer the kid question, she's 4, so she'll probably be in bed by then. But
Well, there you have it. Should be in bed so you can have that after party, or at least raid the fridge and fix you something nice to eat. I don't know, but something could happen. But yeah, end up in victory lane here tonight. As just stated earlier, a solid finish for the team. So on a team aspect, when you have that good of a finish, how much momentum does that give going into the coming weeks? Not just for yourself, but as kind of a team building.
Uh, should be good depending where we go. I mean, Bronson's usually good like this on every mile and a half that's like this. Richmond's probably hit or miss. I know I'm pretty good there. I'm not sure about the other team. I know Bronson's not bad there, but hopefully the team can run together for once, not wreck, because we have a habit of doing that. So I just hope we can, at least me and Bronson can carry this momentum and do what we can do at Richmond.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the win, and of course, we know you got some sponsors and shout out you want to give for that win here tonight.
Yeah, of course I got Eve Controllers been with me for 6 years now. So I mean, finally a partner with them. They're basically the only sponsor I have right now. I do have Rogue Energy. I just don't run them in the trucks. I run them in the Cup car. And then obviously my team is Sky with Bronson, Robert, and everyone that Bronson named. And then obviously thank you for broadcasting. I didn't know you were broadcasting until like 4 laps to go. I was like, oh, sweet. So I was glad to get to talk to you, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Definitely enjoyed the race. And for anyone out there that doesn't know what evil controllers are, this is not a paid endorsement, although we could maybe make one. Check them out. Definitely, we don't typically give out endorsements to non-paid sponsors, but definitely check them out. Their controllers are amazing. I've used one myself, as I mentioned earlier. So, if you're looking to get a good controller, check them out. That being said, of checking out, we're going to check out here for tonight. We will see you all Wednesday? I don't know. No, we're off this Wednesday. We'd be off all week, I believe. Monday we're off. I believe we're off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. So we're off for like an entire week. We'll see you after Thanksgiving where we'll all be fat and stuffed with food. Until then, I'm about to go eat some dinner. We'll see you at the next race, whenever it is, in like a week and a half from now. Have a great rest of your Sunday night, and we'll see you there.